episode of Lessons Learned. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. It means a lot to me and I hope you enjoy this video. And please subscribe, please like it. That means a lot to me, especially if I have people that want to be on the podcast. So reach out. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about different types of spirituality, or just different types of people that you meet throughout your journey. To me, I think spirituality is defining yourself, like really diving in deep with yourself and discovering who you really are, because throughout years and years, we kind of forget who we really are, and we surround ourselves with different types of people that aren't actually good for us. And I think it's really important for everyone to be on this journey. I'm recording right near the highway, so I'm already apologizing for that. I'm in a park right now. This is my first time here and it's so beautiful. And something led me to be over here, and that's what I'm going to talk about later in the video. But it's really interesting how if you really stay in tune with yourself, if you follow yourself, your higher self will guide you. God, whatever you believe in, it would guide you to where you really need to be. Now, there's good things and there's bad things about spirituality, okay? The good thing is that a lot of people are becoming in tune with this. They're waking up to the real life, which is beautiful. And a lot of people are feeling the shift. You know, last year, during the age of Aquarius, on December 21st of 2020, we had a shift, and it's called the age of Aquarius, which I'm not going to explain that. If you really want to know, you can ask me. You can ask me in some details and stuff, but just know that we are in the age of knowledge. We are learning. We have so much accessible tools that we can learn from. We could go on the internet, we could read books, we could talk to people. People are searching knowledge, and that's the beautiful part about this whole thing. But the bad part is there's so much information that sometimes you don't know what's real and what's not real. So you have to go on that journey to seek out what's the real deal. So it's all based on who you're connected to. It's all based on who you're connected to. If you cleanse out your inner demons, because if you haven't worked on yourself, then it's going to be really hard for you to be around the right people. So that's number one with spirituality. You need to dive in deep with yourself, you need to work on yourself, and then eventually you start attracting more people like you. My parents always been really religious and stuff, so I had a better understanding, I had a better understanding how some people are and the way that some people practice things. I was definitely protected all my life from evil, but I had to go through this journey. I obviously did some evil things. I sinned, like everyone sins, but I just felt like I've always been in tune with myself, but not like now. Like today I'm very in tune with myself, which is beautiful. But I just felt like back then I was just hiding it, numbing it, because I didn't want to be the odd one out. I didn't want to be looked as down upon. I didn't want to be like, oh, that person's weird. So I kind of just shied that away. But I'm just so happy now that I'm actually being 100% myself. And if someone makes me feel comfortable, then I just forget them folks. Like I said in my last video, forget them. This is everything, even regular principle of people that don't even believe in religion or spirituality or whatever. The main thing you need to know that there's always good and there's always bad. There's always light and there's dark. Yin, yang, whatever. Everything is connected and you need to know that. Everything, including religion, including all that. Everything that they say in the Bible is related also in spirituality. The Bible is not about following these, principles and all that. It's more about it's more like thinking outside the box. And I feel like for some reason we lost that context, and that just made it more complex with everything. So just know that everything is good in that, you know, God, Satan. It's the same thing. So I came up with 5 different types of spirituality people, and this is based off the things I've learned from people, from like everything. And you have to know that spirituality is your own journey. Like, this is not like the Olympics. I saw this post and he was like, this is not the woke Olympics. And it's true. Like, what you know is going to be totally different than what someone else knows. So it's very important to be on your own journey. You know what I mean? Okay, so the number 1 type of spirituality is egotistical, ego-based people. Get them out. If you experience someone like that, they don't care about you. They only want you to get the information that they know. They're not open-minded, they're closed-minded, they're using it for their own benefit. It's also called superego. And I have another video where I talk to Horizon, this guy that I interviewed, and he talks about that. So you can look at that too. Just look at my videos. But they're strongly opinionated. They don't judge, they don't budge, which is good to be like strongly opinionated on some things. But when you're trying to express like what you know, what you've learned, and they just look down on you, that's the ego-based person. You don't want to really be around that. And if you are like that, please change it, because you're not helping anyone out. You're actually closing yourself out too. So, but some people, again, some people don't know what they're doing. So that's why it's really important to dive in deep with yourself and to figure out who you really are. The second type of a spiritual person is like, you know, they're actually good, they're good-hearted, non-judgmental. And I could say I'm in that category, because I don't judge anyone. Like, I'm not perfect, you are not perfect, so we might as well just learn from each other. And that's what I love. I love learning. I love just figuring out how a person is, how they think, because I like to think too. So I think it's really important for you to not be judgmental, because you are not perfect. You have flaws. Everyone has flaws, and it's important to love those flaws, because that's how you are made. The other type, this is kind of like ego-based, but the narcissists. They're spiritual, but they literally want to be a cult leader. Like, you have to watch out for those types of people. When they talk down on like genders, when they talk down on other people, talk down white people, like, you have to watch out for that, because you have to know that spirit has no color. You shouldn't judge anyone. You shouldn't look down upon, like, and I understand, like, in the Black community, yes, we are, you know, rude, but there are some things that we need to work on too. They don't want to help anything, but they want you to do everything. They don't want to help you, but they want you to help them on everything, on a business, like anything, but they don't even support you. But that's also kind of like ego-based, so keep that in mind. The other one, and this kind of ties in with the egotistical and the narcissist, is know-it-alls. Like, I talked to this one person, and he got mad at me because I was questioning what he had to say, and he thinks he knows everything. You shouldn't want to know everything, okay? Like, it's good to have a lot of knowledge, but the fact that you know everything and no one's going to tell you otherwise, that's a red flag. So you have to watch out for kind of those types of people, those types of spiritual people. Yeah, they know their stuff, but always do your own research at the end of the day, regardless. Even if you resonated with it, still do your own research, because that's key. That's very important to do. And the last one, and I feel like a lot of people are in this situation because of social media and just TikTok and all that. They're kind of experimental. They think that they're spiritual people, but they don't know anything about it. They're just tagging along with someone, or they're resonating with something like, oh yeah, I'm spiritual. And then they get all these crystals that they don't even know about. Some are even fake. They're buying some from Amazon. Like, you don't really know if that's real or not. But it's just, they're not doing their research. They're not doing anything. They're just following a crowd. And that's how you can easily be a victim. You can easily be a cult, like in the cult. And that's something you really have to watch out for, because there's people that are in this game, they want to be a leader. And I feel like I feel like, you know, as humans, we are always seeking out for a leader, and even myself included, I'm always trying to find a mentor. I'm always trying to do anything. I'm always trying to find someone, but you have to remember that all the power is within you. God is literally in you, like he's inside of you. So the power is within you. Yes, of course, it's good to seek help and stuff, but you have to really know that you are so powerful. And you probably think that you're not as powerful, but if you really tap into yourself, you are very, very powerful being. So keep doing that. Keep working on yourself. Once you keep working on yourself, you'll start to see who you're attracting. And if you are attracting the wrong people, then you need to work on yourself more. That's all. No hard feelings, but you know, you should always want to work on yourself every single day. And I, like, you know, something told me to come here. Something told me, and it's so beautiful here. It's nice, you know, foliage from the leaves and all that. And that's because I really listen to myself and I stayed in tune. That's what you have to do. But yes, the experimental people that are trying to seek out spirituality, see if it's for them, it's great that they're doing that, but you just need to really watch out because you don't want to be a follower. I saw this one post, and it's really interesting, and it's called The Law of Rhythm. And it makes sense because, you know, I went to school for music, and that's how like kind of life runs. When you are at a certain frequency, if you're here, eventually you're gonna get, I heard something, I was like, what is that? Eventually you're gonna get tired when you're high all the time. So sometimes you're gonna end up going down lower. But when you are at your lowest, all you can do is get higher. So you just have to keep working on that, but you're always gonna be going high, low, low, high, low, medium, medium, low, high. Like, you're always gonna be moving, you know? That's called rhythm. You're always, you know, moving back and forth. So just enjoy life. Enjoy it. There's something around me, I feel it. So the lessons I've learned is use your discernment, okay? And sometimes, like, when you're working on yourself, your discernment isn't up to par. But once you are really in tune with yourself, if you feel off about someone, I'm telling you, that person is off. Like, you have to feel yourself. You have to feel that frequency. If you feel like someone's being weird towards you, they probably are. And you have to, you know, you have to really, like, meditate on that. You have to really understand that. Another lesson I learned is be respectful to everyone. A lot of people don't know what they're doing, and even if they are being rude to you, just be respectful, because that's just how people are, okay? You have to understand that people don't know what they're doing. And in my last video, I interviewed someone, and what he learned was hate people's actions, don't hate them. And I love that, because that's so true. Hate what they're doing, don't hate them, because they don't know what they're doing. And another lesson I learned, and a lot of people don't feel comfortable about this, but observing someone is okay. Like, you need to observe them before you reel them in your circle. I feel like that's crucial. I feel like you really need to watch out for someone. You need to gain trust to set certain boundaries. If you don't feel right about someone, get them out. Like, that's all. Because if you're gonna keep having them around you, they're just gonna keep sucking your energy away. So as someone that's really gullible, I'm a very gullible person, and I'm very, like, naive, and I just, like, trust everyone, and that's kind of like my weakness. But I love it also because I'm learning as I'm going, and I'm learning what kind of people I want around me. I'm learning what kind of person I am. So you have to enjoy the journey. Another thing you have to keep in mind is so many people are so quick to spread knowledge, but when someone else is speaking, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to listen. And I feel like if someone wants to voice their opinion, hear them out, because you might learn something from that. If you didn't learn anything from this video, just know that you are always learning, and you are always shifting back and forth from whatever, you are always learning a lesson throughout your journey. So you have to just keep in mind, you have to just keep going, keep pushing. There's always something to learn, and that could be a skill, that could be something that you need to work on. It could be about someone, people are always talking through you, and it's just very important to be always seeking for knowledge. Another lesson I've learned, and this is a kind of big one, the word spirituality has a very negative impact in this society. I feel like if I even say spiritual, people look at me, they're like, I can't even say grand rising. I can't even say certain things because so many people, these types of people I've said before, they're saying grand rising, but they're shitty people. So it's like, I can't even say that anymore without people being like, oh, she's saying grand rising, oh, she's that type of person. So it's just like, sometimes I'm trying to find a different word. I guess instead of spirituality, enlightenment. But even when people hear that word, they think you're against God. And it's like, no, I'm not against God. I love God so much, but it's just, I'm thinking on a deeper spectrum of it. As long as you're serving God, and that's the thing, if you're still serving God, if you're still spreading knowledge, you're teaching people to love themselves and love is the way, that's all that matters, okay? Don't let people shame you because you're questioning about the Bible and stuff. Don't let people, and if they are shaming you, get them out and run away from those people. I never really liked saying good morning. I never really, I used to not be a morning person. I am now, but I used to not like saying good morning and like just being like, oh, happy and cheery. But it's like, I can't even say anything anymore. I'm starting to say like rise and shine. So, and the last thing I'm gonna end with this, the last thing I'm gonna say is words are so powerful. Anything that you say, that say you like, oh, I'm dumb or I'm this, do not say that to yourself, because your words, like, that's gonna reflect who you are. And even if you are joking, it's still gonna come back to haunt you. So you don't wanna talk down on yourself. Even if you feel that way, don't say it out loud. Even if you hear something in your head that's not really like positive, ignore it. You always wanna fill your mind with positivity. Always. So you can get those negative thoughts out your mind. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe, and please reach out, because I'm always looking for guests. I'm always looking for people to share their lessons, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much.